Are you tired of increasing prices on absolutely everything? Have you noticed that even affordable makeup has been increasing in price to the point that some of it is really entering that lower high end? Drugstore quality has absolutely gone up in recent years, but unfortunately for a lot of drugstore brands, so has their price. Almost to the point that some affordable brands just really aren't anymore. I don't know about you, but $20 for a L'Oreal foundation is not what I would consider to be a drugstore price point. But on the other side of the spectrum, there are some drugstore brands that are super affordable. Brands like LA Colors and Shop Miss A. However, if the quality isn't there, then even those low prices are not worth you spending your money on them. So what we're going to do today is check out one of those ultra affordable brands, LA Colors, and I'll let you know if it's a good value or if you should just save your money and go for one of those more mid-level drugstore brands. Hey y'all, Tina here. Welcome to Beautiful Journey. I am so glad that you decided to stop in and spend a little time with me today. So as I mentioned, we're going to be doing a one brand full face tutorial, get ready with me style, to see if LA Colors is worth the small amount of money that you pay for it. And we're going to start with the new lip oil in the scent Strawberry Fizz. This smells so good, smells like strawberry, smells like the lip glosses we all used in the 80s. I love it. Now this is not a first impression video. Initially I was going to do it that way, and then I decided no, I really want to be able to give you my thoughts on these after using them for a few days. So this is actually the third time that I have used this foundation. The first time I only wore it for about 4 hours. The second I wore it for 15 hours. It got a good 8 hours. And then it's kind of started to break down a little after that, but I did not have a primer and I did not have a setting spray on it. So today I'm going to use a primer and a setting spray and see if I can get a full 12 hours out of it. And the primer I'm going to use is from my Pud basket. It's the e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Primer, and I'm almost out of it. I'll just rub that in everywhere. And I'm not actually going to use a pore filling primer because this foundation gives such a pretty finish that I don't feel like I need one. I use about a pump and a half. I put it on my palette and then just kind of mash it in. The texture is kind of moussey and a little bit thicker. It's definitely not a serum foundation. And then I just dab it on. Grab my sponge and blend it in. So LA Colors says that this is a long-wearing high pigment formula, applies as a liquid and blends to a beautiful matte powder-like finish, and it's available in 14 shades. I did pay $4 for this at Dollar General. It's listed for $6 on their site, so you might want to go to Dollar General instead of purchasing it online. Do you like my little bump here on my head? Again, ran into something backstage in the dark. Happens every show. Not a big deal. It didn't really hurt. Now this is buildable, but honestly, I think I get enough coverage with just one coat, so I'm going to leave it like that. Before we go to concealer, I do want to mention my nails are also done with LA Colors. I have the LA Colors gel polish in Rockin it. And I also have their quick dry top coat. I painted these on Saturday and it's now Monday, and I don't have any chips. I do have a little wearing at the tips, but they're not chipped. Before I keep talking, let's go ahead and put some concealer on. I have the Conceal It concealer in Fair, and it's one of those with the little brush on the top where you squeeze and the product comes up through the brush, and then you just dab it on like so. It's a little light, but it blends in nicely and brightens really well under the eyes. So we're going to put a little in the inner corner and then a little on the outer corner. There is fragrance in this, and I didn't really realize it at first because when I was using it before I had my windows open, I thought maybe I was just smelling flowers, but there is a light scent. It's not heavy, but there is a scent there. And then this concealer, because it's a little thicker, I do like to use my finger to do the initial blend because the warmth of my finger helps to spread it out a little. And I don't have an eye primer, So I'm going to just take it across my lid as well to use that for my eye primer. And when I have it kind of where I want it, I will take my e.l.f. concealer sponge and blend the edges and up under, and this helps remove any excess product. And then what I like to do is just gently straighten the skin under my eye and press so that I'm not pressing anything into the wrinkles, but I'm straightening them out before I dab. And also the eyelids. For powder, I have this mineral pressed powder in Fair, and I really like this powder. It is a split component where the powder's in the top, there's a mirror and a puff down below, and it's one of those kind of microfibery type kind of feeling sponges. So I'm not using that, I am going to use a brush. So the powder is really fine and soft, and I just really like it. It adds a little bit of coverage, but doesn't look cakey. So first I will do this under my eyes, and I always take my 10X mirror and hold it so that I can pat out in case there's any creasing. And I haven't really noticed much creasing with this concealer if I don't use too much. If I use too much of it, then it will settle. But if I pat it out and then powder, it does not resettle. And then just dab that under the eyes. And I'm actually going to set my eyelids as well. So pat it out and press it in. And then I will grab a fluffier brush and just dab it everywhere. So as I was saying about my nails, I used this color a couple of weeks ago, and I used the top coat that came with that Micho manicure set in my Ipsy, and it lasted 5 days before I got the tiniest little chip. But even a full week later, it was looking really good, and I didn't know, well, is that the polish color or was that because of the top coat? So now I'm trying it with the LA Colors top coat, and I'm on day 3 and it's still looking really good. And normally I don't get 12 hours. If I polish my nails with normal nail polish and even more expensive ones, OPI, that kind of thing, I'm chipping before the day's out. So I'm really pleased with this. I have a powder bronzer, and it is in the color Beach Babe, and it is also really pretty. It also has that split component, but this one has more of that fuzzy kind of a powder puff. Again, not going to use that because I like being able to control more precisely where my bronzer goes. And I'm going to use this kind of shaped fluffy brush. It's a Farrah brush that came in an Ipsy. And I'm just going to dab a little on there, tap some off, and then press that right in the contour there. And then flip it over to blend. And that works pretty good because you can have the product on one side and then a clean side to blend with. And then I'm going to contour just a little bit under my jawline and a little in my hairline, because even though I wear bangs, the wind blows and you can sometimes see my forehead. It's a really nice color. At first I thought it was going to be a little warm, but I really like it. And then the first time I used this blush, I almost panicked because it's a cream blush. And you may have noticed that I've already used powder products. Well, the first time I was like, oh, I completely forgot. This time I didn't forget, but I know that it doesn't matter because this goes very well over powder products. It is the Blush Up Cheek and Lip Cream, and it's in the color Marvelous. And I love this color. It is so pretty, and it has a little bit of a sheen to it, and just really like it. It has an angled tip, and so I'm just going to put a little here on my hand, like that, and then I will kind of tap it around. Isn't that pretty? And then just tap it on. And then change fingers to blend. This is very fragranced. It smells like flowers. And I think it's pleasant. I like it. But if you are sensitive to fragrance, you may not. It does not stick around. Once it's dried down, you can't smell it. But you can definitely smell it when you're putting it on. And then I just use my sponge to blend. It gives such a pretty flush to your cheeks. It does not disturb the products underneath, even putting it over powder products. And I just think it's super pretty. Like I said, it has a tiny little bit of sheen. You can build it if you want just a little bit more color. It dries down completely, so your hair's not going to get stuck in it. It's not going anywhere, and it lasts all day. So 2 thumbs up for this blush, except for the fragrance, and I don't mind it. I don't have a highlighter, but thankfully the blush is a little bit glowy, and so I don't really feel like I need one. I'm going to do my brows before I do my eyeshadow, and I have used this before, but I went ahead and purchased another one. It is the Browy Wowie pencil in light medium. This has a spoolie on one end, so we'll brush up those brows. And the other end is one of those shaped, now it's not shaped very well anymore because I've used it, and that's my beef with this kind of pencil. It has supposed to have a sharp tip on one end and then a wider tip on the other. It's that angled shape. But the first time you use it, the sharp tip gets rounded off, and then it just kind of is all a regular pencil at that point. So it's a nice idea in theory, but it doesn't really pan out in practice. However, I still like the pencil. It's soft enough to go on easily, but not so soft that it just gets too much. So I'm going to just go ahead and start drawing in my brows. It seems to me that when we talk about affordable, we need to recognize that there are levels or tiers of affordability. What one person considers affordable, another may not. You've kind of got the high-end drugstore like Pixie, L'Oreal, and even NYX for some of their products. And then there's mid-range drugstore like Maybelline, Catrice, Flower, those where you can expect to go in and get a foundation between $10 and $15. Then you get into that tier where you've got the $5 to $10 products. And brands in this tier would be things like Believe Beauty at Dollar General or Essence. But then there's the ultra affordable, the brands where you can get things for $1, $2, $3. Brands like Shop Miss A and LA Colors. I like the consistency because I can start lighter and build up as I go to get the intensity that I want for my brows. It's a little bit dark. So if it were too soft, I would end up with way too dark for my brows. But as it is, it's very easy to control how much pigment you lay down. And with the color that my hair is currently, I think it's a pretty good color for me. There. All right, I have 3 of their new eyeshadow palettes. These were $2 a piece at Dollar General, you guys. Their official name is LA Colors Color Vibe. This one is the Nude. This one is Cool. And this one is Rose. Now, I have used these 2 so far. I liked this one better than I liked this one. Let me open it up so you can see it. One thing about them that I'm not thrilled with is that the pan sizes are really narrow, so it's difficult to get a brush in there. The colors are really pretty, but it's difficult to get this to deepen up on the outer corner because even though this looks like a pretty deep shade, it's just kind of medium. So it's beautiful for a more subtle look, but if you want to get deeper, you're going to have to pull something else in. And this color right here that normally I like to use as a setting actually has some shimmer in it, so I can't use that for that. I don't mind putting shimmer in my crease, but I don't want shimmer on my total upper brow bone because it's just going to pull that even more forward and make my eyes look even more hooded and sunken. So this was not my favorite. I used this one yesterday and I loved it. They do come with this dual-ended applicator. Yeah, worthless. Anyway, the colors in here are so pretty, and I just love cool tones, as you know if you've watched a few of my videos. So since I've used both of those, today we're going to use the Nude, and I'm getting rid of that one too. And this one actually does have a matte ivory bisque kind of colors. So we're going to start with that and set from crease to brow bone. These don't actually have color names, so I'll just put a picture of the palette and the color I'm using, and then I don't have to worry about trying to contort myself into a position to show them to you. They are a little bit powdery, as you might expect for a $2 palette, but I don't really mind that if the color payoff is there. And I'm going to use the second color in the palette for my crease and transition. And that is about the perfect transition color for me. Now, if you don't have my skin tone, it might not be the perfect transition color for you, but for me, it's really nice. And I take that in the crease and up to just underneath the orbital bone there. Holy smokes, you guys, it's supposed to be like 90 degrees here today. Are you getting this? It's like we had a weekend of beautiful spring weather and then bam, that's it. It's summertime. So I don't have air conditioning on yet because we had windows open all weekend and it was beautiful. So it's getting a little steamy in here, especially with these lights on. But if I open a window, it's going to be so loud because it's incredibly windy again. All right, I'm going to deepen the crease using the 8th color down the palette. It's more of a mid-range brown. And let's see what that will do. And I'm using a smaller brush so that I can take that right into the crease. And as you notice, because of my crepey lids, if I do this right away, then I get skips in the shadow because I have such crepey lids. But if I dab first and then blend, it just works so much better. So just deepening up that crease. And I'm going to use the, there are some really pretty shimmers in here. I'm not sure which one I want to use. So let me give you a preview of a few of them. So there's kind of a gold, there's more of a rosy gold, there's a bronzy color, and then there's this kind of coppery color. And I think I want to go with this one today. So I'm going to just ignore the ones on my other fingers and just dab this right onto the entire lid. And I have determined that my finger is the best way to apply these shimmers. I've tried it with a brush and I wasn't really happy with it, but with my finger, they're gorgeous. So let me clean off my other fingers so that I don't accidentally put the wrong color. And put that on the other eye too. And then I'm going to use the slightly lighter gold just in the inner portion of the lid to brighten it up there. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Okay, so far this palette I think might be my favorite, followed by the Cool and then the Rose. And I want to make this just even a little bit more dramatic in the outer corner, so I'm going to take the deepest brown on a pencil brush and I'm going to just lay that down right in the outer V. I do have a little bit of fallout. We'll clean that up and pull that underneath right there. And then I'm going to take a clean fluffy brush and I'm just going to blend those edges because sometimes with a $2 shadow you have to do a little more blending, but I don't mind. I think it's really pretty. I am going to take just the tiniest little bit of concealer on this outer corner because I did get a little bit of fallout and I want to brighten it up. And clean up that edge a little bit. There are very few mistakes you make putting on makeup that you have to completely start over. You can fix a lot. For eyeliner, I have the Auto Eyeliner in black. I would have liked to have gotten a brown, but my Dollar General didn't have one, so black it is. It has a really fine point. That was kind of using the side. But if I go right on the tip, you can see I can get a pretty nice line out of that, and it draws really well. See how it does on the waterline. Now, I have not used this eyeliner before because I just got it yesterday. When I first got the products, I didn't get an eyeliner because I thought I had one, and I did not. That went on really easily. So I will have to update you how this eyeliner wore, if it transferred to the lower line, that sort of thing. Since this actually is a first impression for the eyeliner. But yeah, I think I did really well for that. I'm going to curl my lashes and I'll be right back. I was super excited about this mascara. It is the Biggie Lash Mascara, and they claim that it is a tubing mascara. I was very excited to think that I might have a dupe for the Thrive Cosmetics Lash Extension Mascara. Sadly, I do not. It is a good mascara. Unfortunately, it's not a tubing mascara. When I put it on, I get really nice lashes, as you'll see here in just a minute, but it does not wash off with warm water the way the Thrive Cosmetics does, where when you put the warm water on it, it just kind of pulls off the tubes like that. This does come off easily with my Clinique Take the Day Off Cleansing Balm, but it does not come off with warm water. And now for the second coat. It is a very liquidy mascara, and I have to be really careful or I will get it everywhere. I think that after it's open for about a week or so, it will be one of those mascaras that kind of comes into its own when it has a chance to dry out just a little bit. 2 coats versus 1 coat. So this is one that you're going to have to like a little bit of a clumpy lash, but I think it gives really nice volume and really great length. For an ultra affordable mascara, it does not flake, it does not smudge, and I think I can recommend it. All we have left is a lip, so let's take off that lip oil. I'm going to use this gel lip liner in Fetching. It's a little bit of a warm color, and it is one of the plastic sharpening pencils. It's not a twist up. But it is super creamy and glides on over my lip lines so easily. I mean, did you see that? I don't have to tug, it doesn't pull. Really like it. And then I have the matte lipstick in Tender. And I think this might be a little pinker than my lip liner, but I think if I blend them together, it'll be okay. Oh, no, actually they go together really well. Again, when I first tested these products, I didn't have a lipstick. I thought I had one at home and I didn't. So I just used the lip liner and this moisturizing lip gloss in Tickled Pink. And that was a really great combination too. I love this lip gloss. I have had this for quite some time. This is not a new purchase. In fact, this one is almost gone and I need a new one. I love how my makeup turned out today. So what was the star of the show? And which products do I think aren't even worth their very tiny price tag? Honestly, I love almost everything. This foundation gives a beautiful finish. It says it's matte, but it is not a cakey or heavy matte. And I think as we move into warmer weather, my oily skin is going to really like it. I do need a mattifying foundation when it's hot because I get oily in the T-zone. And this one's really good. The powder bronzer, amazing, both of them. This blush, the fact that I can put it over powder is really good because I always forget if I want to use a cream product. It is so ingrained in me to put on a foundation and then powder that if it doesn't work over powder, I don't keep it. If the fragrance doesn't bother you, this is really good. The concealer, I think, is amazing. It sets down, it doesn't settle in my lines and wrinkles, and it just stays where you put it. And really, what more do you want, right? The lip oil, so much fun. Great flavors. I guess technically it's a scent, not a flavor. I really want to try some other ones. The mascara is really good. It's not tubing, sadly, but it's still a good mascara. I'll let you know on the eyeliner. Of these 3 palettes, yes, I would pass. I have better rosy palettes than this one. And I don't know why they're so different, but the shimmers in this one actually feel different than the shimmers in these two. The nail polish is a definite yes, and I am going to get more colors because I'm giving my nails a break from dip and gel and acrylic right now, and to have polish that I can put on and actually get through a week before I have to redo them is huge. The lip product is not transfer proof. It hasn't completely set down yet. I don't know if it will, but I will let you know. Have you used LA Colors products? What do you think of them? Let me know down in the description box below. And if you want more super affordable makeup, then check out this full face of Shop Miss A that I did not too long ago. As always, thank you for coming by, and I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day. I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.